All right, hey everybody, welcome to the crypto chart update for October 11th, 2017. This is where we analyze the latest crypto charts in the cryptocurrency space like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, etc., and we use technical analysis principles. I'm Tim. You can find me on Twitter or tradingview.com where I post all my charts under the name Berlin Trader 591. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The goal of these videos is to analyze the trends and go through some trade ideas so you can broaden your understanding. But it is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not make any trades based on the information I give you. Contact your registered advisor. So please leave me comments, guys. Tell me the tell me the charts that you want me to analyze. I love getting requests and answering your questions because the more people that trade, the more money is in the space and the bigger it's going to get, and that can only help us all make some money because that's why we're here. Of course, we also believe in Bitcoin. Some of us, we believe this is the future, and we want to be involved and aware of what's going on and stay ahead of the curve. I want to shout out to my sponsor, CryptoKing.org, who puts my videos on their front page. They have a lot of great news there every day. It's no frills, it's just the headlines. Great information if you want to stay up to date with cryptocurrencies. And finally, guys, please support me with your clicks, your subscriptions, write me comments, sign up to the wallets and the affiliate sites that I have below this video. I use Coinbase for trading, I use TradingView for my charts, I use Coinbase to get money from fiat dollars or euros into Bitcoin. Please use my links if you need some Bitcoin or you want to trade using some good software. Check out the links below, and when you sign up, a little cut comes my way. It's much appreciated. And without further ado, let's get into the charts. This is a huge day for a lot of cryptocurrencies. You know, it's a day we've been waiting for over the last couple of months. We saw that all-time high put in around 5,000 back in late August, the beginning of September, and we just kind of crashed for 2 weeks. Everyone was freaking out and, you know, saying the bubble was bursting. But if you were following me, then you were put at ease because we noticed that the 200-day moving average, which is this blue line here, has never even been breached over the last few years, right? So any sound technician recognizes that this increasing 200-day moving average is an increase of momentum and an upward bullish trend. So there's no sign of a downward momentum. So even though we crashed a little, right, these crashes were in line with other pullbacks that we've seen before, and I marked those on the chart here. We saw a lot of drops over the last few years, 30% drops, 40% drops. So it was nothing out of the ordinary, and the trend is up. We never broke that 200-day moving average, and the volume has also been increasing as more people trade Bitcoin. Moreover, the RSI has been overbought continuously again and again and again, and contrary to what a lot of people say, overbought signals are not bearish, they are bullish. When you see an overbought signal, maybe there's a pullback, but a price can get overbought for a long time. Look at that, 3 months in overbought conditions, and what happened in those 3 months? Well, the price just went up about 400%. So if you are waiting to sell, or if you're waiting to buy when it's oversold, you're going to miss out on all the huge moves. You don't buy when it's oversold. You buy when there's a little pullback and it's overbought. So remember, RSI overbought means bullish conditions, and everything we see is bullish. The volume, the RSI, the 200-day moving average, and just price in general moving from the bottom right hand of our screen to the bottom left hand of our screen to the top right hand of our screen, making higher highs and lower and higher lows. That's an uptrend. So until the trend breaks, we're going to stay in, and we have to set our levels. And the big level that we're coming up to today, right as we speak, is 5,000. We've been waiting for this level, and a lot of people have been waiting for this level. If you read the news now, all of a sudden, you see that number in the headlines. Now, we've been waiting for this number for a few months, so it's not a surprise to us that it got back up here. It's performed exactly how we predicted, which doesn't always happen, but when it does, we can pat ourselves on the back because that means we've made some good analysis. So let's check out what it means to be at 5,000. Well, what it means is that we are re-attacking these all-time highs, which were right at 5,000. We're right up against those all-time highs. What happens here is really a sign for the future. So guys, if we break out from here, if we break above 5,000, there's a few possibilities, right? We could break out of 5,000 and we could run all the way up to, let's put some lines in here, right? We could break out of this resistance level, right? We have pressure at 5,000, right? People are waiting for the break. So the price is having trouble to get over that level. That's resistance. But when we break out of that resistance, then I think we're going to see a lot of people buy in. We're going to see people jump on the train. Might even see some big players jump on the train. And if that's the case, I think we're easily going to see 6,000. And based on this range that we're in, we always take the Fibonacci from the high of the range to the low of the range. Based on that range, 6,100 is our target. So 6,000, 6,100, that's our target. It's amazing how the Fibonacci levels and round numbers like 6,000 line up perfectly. That's because humans behave in a predictable way. And that's why we're here, to predict how humans are going to behave. That's our edge, that we understand behavior, let's say, more than the dumb money. So we want to be the smart money. We want to get in before the break. We want to get in at a good position. But right here, it's probably not a good place to enter, to be honest. We're at the resistance, right? We could easily fall back down to 3,000. Why not? It wouldn't be unhealthy. It wouldn't be a bad thing. It would probably even be better for the future, but it would take some more time before we broke 5,000. What I would like to see is a little consolidation under 5,000, maybe a little pullback, but not too much, right? Because if we stay around this level, that means we have time to build momentum, to digest this move over the last few weeks. We've really gone straight up over the last few weeks from 3,000 to 5,000. That's a pretty huge move. So right now we're a little extended. RSI is getting to that overbought territory. Now that's a good thing, but it means that it might be a place where we want to take a little bit of a profit if we've been in since 3,000. We want to take a little bit of that profit and see what develops. So if we get some consolidation sideways under that 5,000 level, that would be a really good thing. If you look back in June and July, the same thing happened, right? We came back up after crashing and we consolidated under that level. And what happens is you build a pressure. More buyers come in. More buyers are looking at the price. More people are waiting for that break. So when that break happens, back in August, you just get a shoot right up. Now, if you miss that move, then, it's too late and too bad for you. Even if you knew it was coming, you might miss it. So that's why we need to anticipate these moves, but we also need to be smart. And that means at resistance, we don't want to enter a position. If you haven't gotten in already, then you might want to wait for that break and get in because that's your safest bet. Because when you have a level, like a breakout level, you can place your stop under that level. So you can win, you can gain about $1,000, but if it breaks below 5,000, then you have a little stop, maybe at 4,800, and you can only lose 200. So that means your risk to reward, your reward is 1,000, let's say, and your risk is only 200 down here. Now that is a 5-to-1 reward to risk ratio. And that's pretty good because that means you can lose 5 times and win 1 time, basically, and still break even. So that means you can make a lot of bad decisions and 1 good decision, but you need to find these conditions with a good reward to risk. If you get in right now before the breakout, then it could break out, and that's great. and then you could place your stop. But it could also crash back down. So where's your risk and where's your reward? Well, your risk is 1,000, but your reward is 1,000, but your risk is also 1,000. So right now that's like a 1-to-1 shot. Basically, it's 50-50, right? You flip a coin if you buy some Bitcoin at a resistance level, or any stock or option for that matter. So you don't want to flip a coin because you're going to lose in the end. The market's going to beat you in the end. So you need that really good risk to reward. So if you haven't gotten in already, wait for the breakout of 5,000, place your stop at like 4,800. And if it breaks down, again, you want to get out. But if we do see a pullback and you see some consolidation, that's a good place to enter, because it means that there is strength, price is not crashing, right? If we stay above, let's say 4,000 here, 4,000 level, and we consolidate a bit, well, here you can get in and place your stop at 3,800. And if it breaks down, you only lose 200. But if it breaks out, now your upside is like 1,200. So now, if you buy in the consolidation range before we break out, you've just increased your reward to risk 6-to-1. So you make 6 and you lose 1. So just increases your probabilities by 20%, which is a significant amount. And remember, technical trading is all about reward to risk in the end, and about how much money you risk. So remember, those are the best traders. That's always the question they ask. They don't say, is it going up or down? They don't say, what's Bitcoin doing in Russia, right? They care about their position and their levels. So they only risk as much as they can afford to lose. 1%, 0.5% of your account, whatever it could be. And then they have very strict levels and they stick to the rules. So they set a breakout level, they set a stop, and if they break out, they reach the target. They wait for the target. And if they break down, they get out at the stop, right? Because you can make that decision 6 times, but you can lose 6 times and still make money. So anyway, a little bit of education here, but I know a lot of people are new at trading cryptocurrency. So if you're advanced, I apologize, but we're going to get into the other charts now. So Bitcoin, yeah, it's up against that 5,000 level, that resistance level, waiting for a breakout. I'm already in, so I'm waiting for the breakout. But if we do see some consolidation, you could add to your position. Let's check out the other cryptocurrencies, see how they're doing. Monero, okay, that's random, Monero. And what I love about these charts right now, there are so many beautiful patterns. Which one to pick? Well, I picked the strongest ones. We have 200-day moving average going up. That's a good thing. We have increasing volume. That's a good thing. We have RSI under 50. It's a little weak. We have a nice flag pattern here. That's a good thing, because flag patterns should break out in the direction of the trend, and the trend is the 200-day average, and that is up. So the direction should be up, and we'll see if it breaks out relative to the dollar. But right now it's still consolidating. So if it breaks out, we want to keep an eye. If it breaks that trend line, then you could add to your position when it breaks that trend line. When you see a solid break, maybe one candle above that trend line, and you can set your stop below the bottom trend line of the flag. And then again, you have your reward to your risk, which should be an unequal relationship. Much more reward for the risk. All right, let's check out Litecoin. And this is an interesting chart because it's acting weak. It's acting pretty weak. RSI is under 50. That's weak. The trend is up, but we do see this moving average, flattening a little. So it's acting weaker than Bitcoin. Litecoin was going up in this nice range here, but ever since the middle of September, it's kind of broken down a little and just not really improving like Bitcoin. So I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it means that Litecoin is going out of favor. Less people are interested in it. But as of now, that's a chart I wouldn't buy into. Why would I buy this chart that's kind of going sideways when I have something like Bitcoin that has a beautiful pattern, or even a Monero that has a nice flag pattern? So Litecoin for me is a neutral approach at the moment. I'm not bearish, but I'm also not bullish, so I'm neutral, which means we wait and see. Neutral means wait and see. Ethereum, the number 2 coin on the list, on the most famous, America's most wanted, the world's most wanted cryptos. Another beautiful pattern, to be honest. I'm actually really a big fan of Ethereum's pattern. We have this nice consolidation, triangle, flag, whatever you want to call it, moving sideways since May. And it's a pretty big, fat pattern. Look at that. It goes from about 100 to 400. We're talking a 300-point pattern. Yeah. And just to be somewhere in the middle, we can take the top of that range and the bottom of that range here, and we look at our target, 562. So if we break out above 400, which is that resistance, just like Bitcoin, we have a resistance level. If we break up above that 400 level right here, then I fully expect us to reach 550, 560. And to be honest, we could easily reach 600, 700. And what's going to be the impetus for that? Well, if a country, there's a lot of rumblings right now about regulation, and to be honest, all the different scary headlines have transformed after a few days, and they've become less, less violent, right? So China was going to ban cryptos, but now it turns out they're just going to, only allow a few exchanges to trade, because of course they want to control it. Russia also, they were going to ban cryptocurrencies, but what happened? Putin came out later and said, no, actually we want to allow cryptocurrencies to flourish, but in a regulated atmosphere. So these countries, they see the potential, just like the banks, they see the potential in cryptocurrencies, but they're biding their time. They're waiting to see if there's any adverse effects, or to see if it continues to grow, and probably doing their own research with the technology. So that could be the impetus for a huge run if a country accepts Bitcoin in a bigger way, or if we see some tacit approval from a bank or an investment fund, and they come out publicly and say, hey, Bitcoin is going to $1 million. Then it's going to go to $1 million. So that's all interesting, but really, again, guys, we're sticking to the technicals because all that news is noise and you get distracted. You don't want to trade off news. Trade off the technicals. And Ethereum is bumping up against that 400 level. Right now, it's kind of just staying within that range. But I think if Bitcoin starts a run, we're going to see the other cryptos follow. Because remember, Bitcoin is like the gold. It's like the dollar. If Bitcoin runs, then people will jump on the Bitcoin train. But eventually that train's going to slow down and people will take profits. Where do they go? Well, they're still high on that Bitcoin feeling, so they want to do something with that money, right? So you know what they're going to do? They're going to put it into Ethereum. They're going to put it into Monero. They're going to put it into Dash, all these other coins. And again, you start to see the altcoins taking off when Bitcoin loses its momentum. Right now, everyone piles into Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin has its breakout, then we want to look to take profits and check out the other coins like Ethereum and Dash and altcoins, because then they will start to follow. That's usually how it works at the moment, which is great because you can just ride Bitcoin and then rotate your funds into the the more alternative coins. You have to be careful, but if you know that flow, then you can take advantage of it, just like waves coming in from the sea. Oh man, that's so poetic. So let's check out Dash, one of my favorites, as always. Similar pattern to Bitcoin. All these patterns are developing. We've been waiting for months. It seems like ages in the Bitcoin universe. Time goes slowly, when you're waiting for a 100% move. Can't just want it so bad. But similar to Bitcoin, right? We came up to that high, we bounced back, and now we're kind of going sideways. And Bitcoin, remember, let's compare these charts, guys. Remember, like, Bitcoin has come back up to its old highs, right? But Dash has just gone sideways, a little more like Ethereum. And what we see in this similarity is we see that Dash and Ethereum act similarly because Bitcoin is getting all the money. More money is going into Bitcoin than Dash or Ethereum. So like I said, we're going to see Dash and Ethereum and these coins probably break out after Bitcoin breaks out and when people take profits and they move their profits into these altcoins. So we love these patterns that are a little bit behind the curve. We don't mind that they're lagging a bit because that means we can make money in Bitcoin and then jump over to those coins. Check out my favorite coin, PivX. You know, I drew a cool little smiley face today because PivX it's not been disappointing. I've been pounding the table. I said this is the hottest thing that is on my radar because I see the growth in this. It could easily get to 5 or 7 or 9. I mean, we're talking 200, 300% gains in a few days. And it's just been going sideways for about a month, but now it's developed this nice rounded bottom, which is a really nice pattern because that means momentum is just quietly building until one day, pop, just pops out, right? That's always often what happens with these smiley faces. So, you know, we get that pop, then maybe we get a little pullback, and then another pop, and that's like a little cup and handle, right? So you get a nice cup and handle pattern. That would be beautiful. So looking at that, again, it's amazing. All of these charts look good, right? That is an amazing sign when all the charts look good. You know, usually you have some good ones, some bad ones, but right now, everything looks great. And everything is kind of like in the prime of its, is in puberty, you know? Things are about to come out the door and look beautiful. So I'm very excited about these charts. Like Ripple, look at this consolidation pattern. Oh my gosh, since May we've been consolidating, and it went up like a rocket back in May, and we've just gone sideways since dinosaurs have been extinct, and now just the last few days we've broken out of this triangle pattern, right? We have the trend line connecting those tops, and we've just broken out of there. And can we hold it? You know, that's the question. You see my annotations, guys. These are all from tradingview.com. I make analysis on there, and I tell you what these messages are all about, but you can kind of read them and explain it to yourself. But basically, we're breaking out of this trend line. If we can hold it, you know, pink is my prediction. Check it out. We're just going to jump up to maybe 43 cents, 45 cents. That's a 100% move. You know, you got a couple hundred of these ripples. Well, it's not a bad payday. So, you know, guys, again, great signs. Good volume, green volume, RSI overbought, 200 moving day average going up, and we're breaking out of a pattern, right, that usually resolves to the upside. So, pretty nice chart, and don't see... It's actually, I think, a great place to get in right now because you can place your stop right under that trend line. But the reward is, as we said, much higher than the risk, and that's what you want. You're talking 25 gain to 5 loss, 5 to 1, right? And thank you for following my charts. Follow me, guys, on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on tradingview.com at BerlinTrader591. I'm going to see you maybe sooner rather than later. If we see some action, I'm going to post some quicker updates if we see a breakout. Until then, take care and make some money. Cheers.